Capatch, the storytelling game show. My name is Christine Blackburn, and we are going to have such a fabulous time tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you feel free to make comments in the chat room. And if your comment's funny, I'll put it on the screen. How about that? All right, you guys, let's get this party started. And let me introduce to you the Wheel of Stories. Here it is. The Wheel of Stories. There are 12 permanent topics on the wheel and also an additional space that says free. If the contestant lands on free, they can choose any topic on the wheel. Here come the topics below you on the banner. School days, holidays, birthdays, hooking up, interviews, mom, Hollyweird, food, free, and audience. And if the contestant lands on audience, then that's when you guys come into the game and you can leave topics in the chat and one of our expert judges will choose it to be the contestant's topic. So start thinking about your stories right now, you guys. And speaking of expert judges, let's bring them on the stage right now. All right, you guys, this first judge coming to the show, he's a comedian and a writer. Now, he wrote on At Midnight for the entire run. And he's a broadcaster for the LA Derby Dolls. Please welcome the fantastic Blaine Capatch. Hey, Blaine, how's it going tonight, man?
Hi, that's me. It's me, the fantastic Blaine Capatch. Thank you, Christine. It's true, I'm fantastic.
Tell us who some of our sponsors are tonight, please.
We're brought to you.
The greatest. Everyone's great. Never tell yourself to be the greatest person in the world. Just don't think of yourself as Trump.
It's okay. He's pretty drunk. We're also brought to you tonight in part by Bush. When a tree is just too much, but a grass isn't enough. Bush and Nashville Hot Fruit Loops. Finally, Nashville Hot. And Fruit Loops, Nashville Hot Fruit Loops, Christine.
All right, you guys, this next judge, she's an author, a performer, and a podcaster and radio host. She's a speaker and a coach and a teacher, and her best-selling memoir, A Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George, was based on her solo show. But lately, she's turned her life to an online community and coaching program, Women on the Verge. You can hear her on SiriusXM on her own show called The Kelly Carlin Show. Please welcome the fantastic Kelly Carlin. Hey, Kelly, how's it going, sister?
I am fantastic too.
I'm so excited to see you. I saw you made a little judge's card. Let's see that.
Yes, I made round 1 and round 2. I'm very organized, people.
Well, you are not messing around. All right, let's bring on our final judge. This guy is a comedian and an actor. He's an author, a writer, a comedy historian, a podcaster, a musician, and a professor. Now, he is noted for numerous stand-up comedy appearances in clubs, theaters, and on television, a biography of Pistol Pete Maravich, and a supporting comedic acting role. He's had many roles in shows like The X-Files, The Larry Sanders Show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Crashing, Silicon Valley, and in big feature films like Legally Blonde, 50 First Dates, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Step Brothers. He was the head monologue writer for NBC's Late Night with Jimmy Fallon in its first season, and he co-produced the Emmy Award-winning HBO documentary, The Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling. And guess what? He's working on a new HBO special with Kelly's father, George Carlin, on George Carlin, which is going to be amazing. Wait a second. Kelly is saying no.
No, I'm kidding.
Also, this guy, like I said, he's a professor and he teaches stand-up comedy at USC. Please welcome the very talented Wayne Fetterman. Wayne.
Thank you for that's my theme song. Thank you for finding that. It's very obscure. I'm glad you were able to cue that up specifically for me. So that was perfect. I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, we are going to be playing 2 rounds of the game tonight. Round 1, our storytellers will be telling a true 1-minute story. And in round 2, the contestants will spin the wheel and double the fun and tell a true 2-minute story. Now, you guys, the expert judges, you are judging on the story, on the ability for the contestant to stay on the topic, and also the story, or the time, excuse me. Yes, the time. Okay. And each one of those categories can get a total of 5. So it's 15 per judge. A 45 is a perfect score in each round. Don't you worry. We don't have to do the math. I got somebody doing that. Woo!
Okay.
So
So just a quick question about the time. Is it a specific formula? If they're a second under, if they're 2 seconds over, what? Or is it all? What? Blaine's done this before.
They don't want to go over their time, because if they do go over their time, they'll hear this.
No, I get it. Now I'm asking about the judging part of it, not about what happened to them.
Look, you're the expert. I'm just the host. You can make your own decision up and score appropriately. How's that sound?
I love it. Love it.
All right. Looks like some folks are already in the chat room. Macy Poole, Mike Rotman, Terry Johnson. Thank you so much.
Mike Rotman.
Oh, yeah, I see him. Oh, I can read these comments. Okay.
All right. I'm going to be pulling the names out, by the way, randomly. They'll come out of the Story Smash can of truth, and our contestants will be drawn out. And I'll pull out the first name right now. And that person is going to kick off the game for another fantastic night of Story Smash. All right, you guys, this guy, okay. Now, he's an actor and an improviser from Chicago, Illinois, and he's appeared in such hit shows as Mad TV, The Sarah Silverman Program, Cedric the Entertainer Presents, and The Bold and the Beautiful. You didn't see that coming, did you, Fetterman?
Not at all. That was what we call a curveball in the business.
Now, this guy divides his time between LA and Las Vegas, where he owns Vato cigars inside Binion's Casino in classic downtown Las Vegas on the Fremont Street Experience. Please welcome the very talented Paul Vato. Paul!
That music isn't going to be the whole show, is it?
Oh, yes, it is. And it's going to be in your dreams. All right, guys, let's tell Paul what to do.
Spin that wheel. This wheel spin brought to you by Oreo's Clamato stuff and Oreo's double Clamato stuff. Double the Clamato stuff Oreos, Christine.
Drunk Tank. Paul Vato landed on Drunk Tank. So whatever story you're up for, Paul, when you begin, I'll start the clock. You take your time.
This is what you see when see
Paul,
muted.
My mic was muted. I'm sorry. I like to.
I didn't start the clock. No worries.
I didn't say a word. I haven't said a word yet. Mr. Federman, now that you see me, can you understand both bold and beautiful?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now it makes
not just bold. Now
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Drunk Tank. Where can I begin? Okay, I guess Las Vegas. I mean, it's full of alcohol and drinking, but I've never ended up per se in a drunk tank. But I've stopped drinking so much because I've ended up maybe hooking up. I've recently gotten separated, divorced, whatnot. But so all this is okay. I've actually ended up hooking up with maybe people that I shouldn't have, especially here in Las Vegas. For example, I peed on an old lady, but it was mutual. It wasn't mutual. She didn't pee on me, but she said to yes. And I didn't want to get out of the hot tub, and I don't know if it's because of laziness or what, but I was in there. I was in the hot tub. I stood up to get out. She said I didn't have to, so I ended up peeing on her quite a lot because I'd been drinking a lot, but I did not end up in the drunk tank, and it was mutual, all respect.
All right. Not bad at all. Wayne Fetterman.
I don't know what just happened there, but first of all, I love that your story involves assaulting an old woman. That's incredible. I didn't expect that right out of the gate, but
Neither
by
did
the
I.
way, what happens in Vegas is not supposed to be talked about. You broke that rule, so you're 0 for 2 already. I like the way you claim this was totally consensual, even though it was you doing all of the peeing, I guess what it was. So I let me just say this. It was right on time. It was right on time.
It sure was. Blank patch.
Well, I wondered what sort of regenerative powers that the old lady got from the pee. If there was some sort of like, I need it. I need the pee. If there was some sort of need for it. Maybe you were sort of helping her get her hit points back up. I don't know what was going on. I'm reading too much into this, but check out my fan fiction. It's up on my on my blog. There's a lot of information about peeing and a lot of things that I really wouldn't have thought about before. Like, oh yeah, you would want, if I was going out on a peeing gig, I would want to like drink a bunch of 40s. So I got a lot out of it. It was very nice. Christine gets mad at me when I give people a perfect score. She beats me with a bicycle chain. So I'm going to give you a 14 instead of a 15. A
14. Wayne Fetterman, I forgot to get your score. Now, what do you give him on story?
First of all, I'm a little confused.
Well, I forgot to get your score.
I thought it was 15 for each category.
No, 1 through 5.
Got it. Okay.
Time. So what do you give?
Give me a second. Me a second to recalculate. By the way, I also do fan fiction, but mainly Anne Frank. That's my favorite. It's on my blog.
Wayne's giving me 45, 15.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Okay, now wait. So, Fetterman, what do you give him for the time?
The time? He was perfect. So he's going to get a 5 for the time. Yeah.
So what about for the story?
The story and the topic, I'm both giving him 3.
Okay, fine. No problem. Kelly Carlin.
I enjoyed the connection between liquid in and liquid out. I thought that was very there was like a physics kind of a theme to it, like a big universal yin and yang thing. I was really into that part of it. I did want to know more about the woman's reaction, though. If you're going to bring a character in, I want to know a little bit more about her reaction to the situation. It seemed to be all about you, which it was in some ways, because when you're drunk, it is all about you, as we know. So, but I thought it was a very strong start. I did. I gave you a 5 for time.
That's what I did.
I gave you a 4 for topic because I just don't know where anyone else is going to be. So I wanted to give myself a little room.
Yep.
And I gave you 4 for story just because I didn't know what the lady felt about the golden shower.
She loved it, but...
Okay then.
All right, you guys. Way to kick off round 1.
And I will say that
for you guys.
That drunk tank
total score is 38. Great way to kick off the game. Thanks for playing, Paul. And now I reach my hand back into the story-worthy can of truth. And this next contestant coming up. Alrighty here. Now this girl, she has been doing stand-up for 10 years. Yes. She's performed at the Ice House, the Improv Lab, and the Laugh Factory for the Gong Show auditions.
Awesome.
She's also performed at Flappers, and she has her own podcast called Silly Anti-Sissy Radio Theater. And guess what? She's from my hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Please welcome the very funny Alycia Marie. Alycia.
You had me at Pittsburgh. It was
Those Steelers. Hey, Alycia, how's it going tonight?
Well, they didn't make it. Never mind.
How are you doing? Okay?
I'm good. I'm great.
All right, you guys. Let's tell Alycia what to do.
Spin that wheel.
Exclamation point.
It's been brought to you by Skechers. They're kind of like real shoes, right? Why not? Skechers.
He's loaded with these. I love it.
Alycia. Oh, holy cow. Alycia landed on audience. This is exciting. So early in the game. Let's look at the comments, go to the chat, and what kind of story would you guys like to hear Alycia tell?
Just Rotman.
Audience, this is exciting. Okay, the
Macy, come on. There's a Terry there. Okay, I see a couple.
There's a couple people here. Come on.
No, but it's basically Rotman.
Mike Rotman. All right, we need some topics, and we need them in the chat room and comment room. So go ahead, YouTube. Go ahead, Facebook. Do your thing.
Come on.
How long does this usually take? How long does this usually take?
Come on, Mark Zuckerberg. Do your thing. Finally, do something for America. That's good. Give us a topic.
Cut to Philip Glass soundtrack, just the clock going fast, camera, just the dates going past, just the Koyaanisqatsi clouds going past, beard, fingernails.
Okay, here's one. Blind date.
Wayne's children up, then They
Peeing
die of
on an
old age.
lady. Oh no, wait, that was the last story.
Oh,
Avocado.
I see. Julie, look at this. Okay.
Butter food.
Buffet.
Buffet food.
Buffet.
What is this, like a Vegas theme?
Okay.
Suddenly we're in Vegas again.
This game is called The Host Can't Read.
All right, you guys, you see anything
Butter
there?
food.
Blind date, avocados, buffet food.
I don't know.
I'm all about buffet.
I was going to
who
say
gets to pick?
if it's John Panette, I'm going buffet food.
Let's do buffet food, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, that's an easy
Blaine,
one.
what do you say?
What do you think, Blaine?
I always love hearing about a good buffet. It's a vicarious thrill.
Yeah, of course. And
It
by the
really
way, they might be a thing of the past. They might be one of those. Oh, remember buggy whips and buffets? Yeah,
Before the thing.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, buffet food. Alycia, this is difficult, and we appreciate your working so hard for us. So take your time. When you're ready, I'll start the clock.
Thanks, Macy. Oh, Mike. I mean.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm ready. I got this. So I love buffets. I always tell people, like, they think I'm like thin. I'm not Hollywood thin, but I'm like thinnish. And I always tell people I feel like I'm like should be like 1,000 pounds. So like when I go to a buffet, I chow down, man. I chow down. And my favorite buffet is like home. I mean, that's why I hate COVID now, because you can't go to like buffets. But I mean, my favorite buffet is like hometown buffet and then Pizza Hut, like old school, OG. When I was a kid, I would go to the Pizza Hut buffet, and in between playing Pac-Man, I would just wolf down like as many pieces of pizza as I could. And then like I would just like take 5 pieces, 10 pieces, 20. I mean, a lot. I can eat it, man. I mean, I could be in a pizza competition. I really could. And only once did I throw up. And that was like when I was 12, like because I was playing Pac-Man at the same time. So there you go.
All righty, she buried the lead because she vomited. Blaine Capatch.
You know what? I thought your answer was truly from the heart. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was a kid again, and my parents were paying for it, and I was just eating pudding and ham and salad and pudding, more pudding, and then Texas toast. You were really speaking from the heart, and it really grabbed me. And you were just talking about it. You didn't have a story. You didn't. Yeah, you didn't have a destination in mind. I think it was all about the journey. So I'm gonna. I can't give you 15, or Christine will whip me with a belt. So 14.
14 points. Kelly Carlin.
You brought me back to my Shakey's buffet days. We didn't do Pizza Hut buffet. We were doing Shakey's buffet.
Yeah.
So you brought me back to the 70s. I was feeling the avocado and the colors of the time, and the Pac-Man too, and picturing your greasy fingers all over that Pac-Man, and just feeling a little nauseous about it, but it was decent.
And then the strobing.
Yes, and I gave you a 5 on time and a 5 on topic and a 3 on story. It was just a little meandering, but great.
All right, fair enough. Wayne Fetterman.
First of all, I loved your story. I thought it was incredible that you triggered a lot of emotions for me, because I also would, no one out-pizzas the Hut, right?
True.
Everyone knows that. And that's been going on since, like Kelly said, in the 70s, we used to go and get the free buffet. I mean, not free buffet, but buffet at Pizza Hut. It couldn't possibly exist. The one point I took off her story when you said that's the thing you hate about COVID the most is there's no buffets. And I just feel like it might be third on the list.
Right.
It could be the 450,000 dead. Could be. And then the fact there's no buffet. But that's why you're going to lose a point. So I gave you 4, 4, and 5. I think that's 13, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, that's not a bad score at all.
Yeah.
Kelly Carlin, I think you were talking about the Mojo potatoes.
Yes, I'm a potato girl. I'm Irish. Any potato in any shape, form, temperature, I do not care.
What about a latke? Do you like a latke?
I'm okay with the latke. Yes.
I think the latke could give a French fries run for the money. You know
But
what I
I
mean?
like the applesauce. I don't like the sour cream. I'm confused by the sour cream part.
I like the sour cream.
Yeah.
All right, Alicia's total score 40. It's a great score. Thank you so much, Alycia. Amazing. Amazing. I just want to share one quick little thing. You know, Alycia brought up Pac-Man, and you know, from me to you, and I know nobody's here, so I could just say it to you guys. When I was a teenager, I could bring myself to orgasm playing Pac-Man. Thank you.
What do you mean? Sitting
Wait.
on that knob?
Yes. I'm like, was the knob involved?
No, I just got so excited chasing those little womp, 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 womp. I couldn't take it. And
All right. I don't want to go into the details of this, but we were taught that it was a whole different, there was only one specific way to get, okay.
No.
All right, you guys.
I did the same thing with Gorf.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. Oh, and Xevious on my birthday.
I did that with asteroids. Next thing you know, I'm in hyperspace.
Okay.
All right, you guys, coming up right now to tell a true 1 minute story. Oh, wow. This is great. I'm really excited about this contestant. Now, check this out. She began as an actor on and off Broadway, later joining many TV series like Newhart and Seinfeld. But lately, she's been published in the journals and magazines like McSweeney's, Medium, The Jewish Journal, Funny Times, and 3 editions of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, her first book, Odd Woman Out, just launched last week. It's out on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible. And check out this review from actress Lorraine Newman. Lorraine says, Melanie Chartoff's book reads like a novel, a thriller, a tragedy, a comedy, and a romance. Her new book, Odd Woman Out, is a highly personal thrill ride, a must. Please welcome the fabulous Melanie Chartoff.
Yes, yes.
There she is. Hey, Melanie. All right, you guys. Let's tell Melanie what to do. Spin.
Man, that wheel.
It's been brought to you by Schmancy Feast Cat Food. For cats that think they're better than you. Schmancy Feast.
Hollyweird. Melanie landed on Hollyweird, and you know she's going to have a Hollyweird story in a minute. I'm sure of it. Whenever you're ready, Melanie, you can go ahead and start.
All right. So I first came to Hollywood to meet some agents. I was about 24 years old, and I decided to just pick a Yellow Pages hotel. So I picked the Hollywood Hotel, which was on Hollywood Boulevard across from Grauman's Chinese. It was right next door to the Scientology Center. And I came out my first day in Hollywood, and there were all kinds of crazies on the street. There were people hawking God, people hawking the devil, people hawking the end of the world. I mean, there was so many choices. But then the Scientology people were hawking these pamphlets about believing in yourself and staying calm and staying clean and honoring your parents and also being true to yourself. And I said to myself, well, I can't be true to my parents and also be true to myself. That's mutually exclusive. So in any case, I got away from that center of town and I started climbing into these hills. I guess it was Runyon Canyon now that I think back. And I had like a spiritual experience on this hill. First of all, I had never seen the horizon so large before because in Connecticut, it was very limited by the Long Island Sound.
Oh my God, I love the way.
More to that story, I swear, read my book.
Kelly Carlin, 1 minute, exactly. Kelly.
Oh, my God. It was like I saw God during your story. And I didn't have to play Pac-Man to do it. It was amazing. It's like I'm buying your book after this show, Melanie, because I want to go walk with you in Runyon Canyon and look at the horizon with your eyes, your kinetic eyes.
Thank you, Kelly. 1 book has been sold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kelly, what do you give her on time?
Giving her a 5 on time. I mean, she just like, bam, she cut off at the end there.
Possible.
And topic, Holly, it wasn't too weird. I'm going to give a 4 for the Holly weird part. There wasn't enough weird. I mean, Scientology is weird. That's true. She did kind of, but I'm giving it a 4. The story, I'm giving it a 4 too. I felt like we were just at the beginning of a great adventure with Melanie.
Fetterman.
I have to piggyback what Kelly Carlin just said. Not the exact same scores, though. I felt like the story Well, I was more into the story of like Hollywood Boulevard cannot be more Hollywood weird, especially because you have that great theaters and then the absolute craziness that happens on the street from Fredericks on down to the guy dressed in the Spider-Man outfit. But and in the middle of it all, of course, Scientology is the most sane thing in the middle of that street. So it's completely bizarre.
Confusing.
So I'm giving you, but then you went off into the woods. I didn't know what happened there. So I'm giving you 4 on the story, 5 on the topic. And of course, no one can give you anything but a 5 for the time. That was like Secretariat. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Blaine Capatch.
I loved it. It made me made me think that there's more to Hollywood than what I know about it. Like the neighborhood that you described, where you lived across the street from the Chinese. You had this. It was the beginning of this magnificent life adventure for you with Scientology, which is a great thing, by the way. It's like chiropractic. My experience is just circling for parking so I can go to Buffalo Wild Wings. And it reminded me that Los Angeles is more than my experience. It's a great experience. I would give you a 15, except Christine would hook my ignition up to a bomb. When I would start my car, I would explode. So 14.
1 year ago, I said to Blaine very casually, hey, man, when we do these rounds, remember, you got to leave room for somewhere to go. And ever since then, I've been in trouble.
Yeah.
Melanie's total score, 41. That's a great score. Thanks for playing the game, Melanie. Way to go. There's a whole nother round
that was
left
great.
over.
Melanie.
You'll be back for the next round. Now, look, folks, we got one more name in the story smash can of truth, and he's going to be telling another true story. And I'll tell you what, he's played the game before. He knows what he's doing. He is an established comedian who you've seen on Jimmy Kimmel and you've heard on Sirius XM. He has performed in all 50 states and 60 countries.
What?
More countries than states.
Wait,
Top that. You guys can ask him yourself. Please welcome the fantastic Johnny Cardinale. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. How's it going, brother?
Good. That's my credit. More countries than states. That's how I like to be brought up to the stage. I'm about to lose to a guy who opened the show by urinating on a senior. I'm in. Let's do this.
Hey, Johnny, where are you right now?
I am in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
I live in LA, but I'm staying with my girlfriend in Ohio, where I'm from originally. I'm representing.
Me too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I will say, I know that you guys are a lot of LA-centric jokes, which I dig. And I was just back there. I had some work to do. I was back there a month ago, and I've been out here since March. And I will say this. It's true. Because there's not so much traffic, the air is so clean now in LA. In fact, they say, for the first time ever, the air is so clean in LA. For the first time ever, you can see people's ulterior motives. It's really all right. Okay, I try to do a joke up front.
Blaine, was that his story?
No, it went on for at least 3 minutes though.
All right, you guys, let's tell him what to do.
Spin
that
wheel. This wheel brought to you by Impossible Captain Crunch. Tastes like real meat. Impossible Captain Crunch.
Interviews. Johnny landed on interviews, and who knows? Maybe he went to an interview, or maybe he gave an interview. We'll find out. When you're ready, Johnny.
Crap! This is the one I really didn't want at all because I don't have a great interview story, but I used to work at a bank in Hollywood. And this is a long time ago. And one time, Robert Shapiro came in and needed to do some banking with me. And this is, I'm guessing, pre-Kardashian stuff. So it was OJ, Robert Kardashian. And I'm looking at him, and I'm not supposed to because I'm working at a bank. I was about to talk to him, but I actually asked him, I go, did he do it? And Robert... He looked at me and he goes, he was found innocent. And I said, did he do it? And he goes, he looked me right in the eye and he goes, he was found innocent. That was it. I hate to say it, but that's my entire interview story. I have nothing better than that.
All right, Blaine Capatch.
I loved it. It had everything. It had OJ. It had Kardashians. It was double homicide adjacent, which is a lot like Beverly Hills adjacent. It was. I thought it was cool. It was an interesting thing. I'm sure it's something that he rehearsed, or that he has to have rehearsed at some point in his life, to just deal with everybody coming up going, "Hey,
This is a one-on-one.
Come on, you almost cut her head off, right? Come on, the guy who returned his sunglasses. Hey, oh my God, right?" So, anyway, Christine will do that to me if I give you a 15, so 14.
Not true. Kelly Carlin.
I was a little confused. First it was Robert Shapiro, and then it was a Kardashian. I know they were both on the team. I'm not quite sure who it was.
Yeah,
Right.
Thank
I
you.
pictured both, so I got a little confused in that. But I love stories about pre-showbiz jobs. Like, that's one of my favorite things. So picturing you in a bank, having to like wear a suit and be a straight guy.
Desk.
I was empathizing with this, and then that excitement of like, oh, here comes a celebrity in, and then having the balls to ask the question. I was impressed by that. So
Thank you.
yeah, I gave you a 5 on the topic, a 4 on story, and I gave you a 4 on time only because you left 6 seconds on the clock.
Nice.
And you know, you need sometimes you need to give us a little more. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Wayne, before you grade me,
Yes,
can I also, with my 6 cents, can I add on that I once notarized something for Isaac from the Love Boat? That's all I'm saying. Okay, just go ahead. Just
All right, I love it. First of all, that was 6 seconds worth of information that might have helped your score if you had thought of it when the clock was running. Right? A little different under the hot lights, right?
All right.
Blaine, we all know that. It's a little
that
different.
is true. That is true.
First of all, love your microphone setup. I like how that it's louder than anyone in this entire game show tonight. I don't know what kind of setting you have on that thing. Some Ohio setting, some
They
weird.
told me it was good.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It sounds good. And I felt like the story was a 5. I liked your story. Unfortunately, 3 on the topic. It was not an interview. It was just an encounter. Had nothing. Like, I'd like to know that interview and how you got the job at the bank. Would you ask the person questions, not an interview? And again, Kelly picked it up as well. See, the character changed in the middle of the story. We went from Shapiro to Kardashian, right?
Well, Robert, but isn't he in the Kardashian world, the Shapiro?
All right, you're just digging deeper now. And then I'm going to give you 4 for time, but I wish I could give you bonus points for energy, the hat, and the sconces. Is that what they're called in the back? Those are beautiful.
I had them installed just for the show.
Yeah, those are hard to install.
I made sconces in wood shop. Thank you very much. All right, Johnny's total score 39. That's a great score. Not bad, Johnny. And remember, there's a whole nother round coming up, and so you'll be able to prove yourself once again. Now, all 4 of the names go back into the story-worthy can of truth, and I'm going to pull the
Can I
next
just say
one.
something? That Johnny's microphone is echoing everyone's conversation. Just so you know that's going on. Whoever's doing tech for the show, keep going.
Okay.
Wayne's on it though.
I'm on it.
Kelly, how do you feel how the show's going so far? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. I'm just happy to be talking to people other than the women I coach, who I adore, and my husband and the dog. Really, I'm so happy to be here. And
What if those women are watching you right now?
So I'm happy to be laughing.
Hey, Fetterman and Kelly, can you guys tell us together about the new special coming out about your dad, Kelly?
Not a special.
It's not a special. It's a
it's a documentary
on HBO. And Judd Apatow.
Fetterman, why are you laughing at me?
That's just funny to describe it. Because earlier it was like, and he's working with George Carlin on a new special. It was like,
we're propping my dad's ashes up, and we're going to be like piping some old material. No, we're doing a documentary, 2-parter. Judd Apatow's directing.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled. And then I heard Wayne is like doing something on it. I'm like, oh, really? Are you kidding me? Really? Fetterman?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Thanks for the endorsement. No, it's a thrill. It's a thrill. He's one
It
of my
is. It's
favorite
very
comedians, and it's
I'm getting interviewed in a few days, and I
Yeah.
haven't lost any of my pandemic weight, and I'm going to look fat, but whatever.
all right.
Hey, by the way, Wayne, I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
the Gary Shandling thing on a plane, and I cried like an asshole, and everybody looked at me. So thanks.
You're welcome. That's what we do with comedians. We make them incredibly sad.
That's right.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's really
Kelly, don't you have
super
Gary
sad.
Shandling's club chairs?
I do. I have 2 pairs of Gary Shandling's chairs. I went into
Oh
his
my god!
You can come over. You can come over, Blaine, and sit in the chairs anytime you want. And all I can think about was what my dad used to say about beer farts when I look at them. So.
But can I say something real quickly? Because in a very profound way, Gary Shandling and George Carlin are connected, because when Gary was just starting out or thinking about it, he brought some material to Carlin, who read it and gave him some notes on it the next day and really sent him on his way. And he always talked about Gary his whole life, like the generosity of that guy. So.
And then when my dad died, Gary came to find me and became my mentor. So it was it was beautiful. We're all going to cry now. Okay.
The circle of life.
Circle of life. Yep.
All right, you guys.
So I saw a dog get hit by a car.
All 4 names are back in the story.
Glendale. It was right up between some parked cars. Oh my god!
Look who's coming up right now. Wayne Fetterman. What's it say?
That says Johnny.
He's coming right back.
No.
Johnny Cardinale. Come on up, brother.
Cardinale. Okay. This music is. Ellie, you like this
love
music,
it,
don't
Fetterman.
you?
Get him to
There he is.
tell a story to make comedians cry.
I moved
All right, Johnny.
I moved my microphone right over there so it doesn't echo everybody in the show.
Okay, you guys. Johnny's going to spin the wheel and tell a true 2-minute story. Let's tell him what to do.
Spin
That wheel.
Wheel.
Johnny,
Brought
actually,
to
you don't
by
have to do
Lego-Pedic
anything.
mattress, over 16,000 pieces, ages 14 and up. Ow! Your mattress is yee! Lego-Pedic.
School days. Johnny landed on school days. I bet you he's got a story.
Okay. Not a great story, like my last one. So I tried to be the class clown in my school. My school was 110 people in the graduating class. Very small school in Beaumont, California. And I was in science class where everybody had a partner. It was just tables and partners. And the teacher put me in the back by myself. I was the only one in the back by myself because I was always mouthing off. And then one day he came in, he moved me next to, it was 2 different grades. So he moved me next to the homecoming queen, this girl that I had a major crush on. Her name was Christina, and he thought that would shut me up. I'm like, because I'm sitting next to her, I'm like, and I was a nervous wreck. I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting next to her. She was a year older than me, and she was the homecoming queen. She was a cheerleader, and she was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? How do I talk to her? And then, we had to work together and stuff. And I was a decent student. I was about B+, A-. And our tests were like mostly multiple choice and then a couple essays at the end, graded 100 points. You know what I mean? 100 points, I got whatever. 100, whatever. 100 was an A. I would always get about 88 to about 93, 94 kind of thing. And I had the major crush on her. Her first test comes back before her and I started talking. And I looked over, she got an 8. Out of 100, she got an 8. And I had the major crush on her. And she goes, so you want to study together after class and stuff? And I'm like, no. And I couldn't believe that I was in the position to turn her down because she was the goddess that I never thought I'd ever have a chance to talk to. And then I get to sit next to her, and then I see this, and I was just like, I'm not going to carry her through this whole thing. And I got to say no to Christina. Her and I are still friends, by the way.
Wow. Okay, Blaine Capatch.
True story.
Of course, it's a true story.
True story.
We
Well, then
fact-check.
forget it.
Oh, that's right.
I think what we learned there is you were the smart one all along in a lot more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one to grow on. Sorry, I have another camera over here. I'm doing another show. If I give you 15, Christine will send people over to me.
Oh, absolutely.
And that dream will come true. So 14.
Wayne Fetterman.
Also 14. Also 14. I thought it was on topic. I thought the story was good. I love the twist. I love that classic O. Henry. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that guy. You may be in Beaumont. They don't teach that, but
You are a professor.
yes, guys. And
He's the candy bar that's mostly nuts.
No. Well, anyway, nice job, brother. Nice job.
Kelly Carlin.
Johnny, it was a great story. And it was a great story because you were the butt of the joke in the end, because you were supposed to study with her so you could get in her pants. Like, too bad she has an 8. Like, you really cared about your grade more than getting it with the homecoming queen? I loved it. I'm giving you a 15.
15. Unbelievable. What a great score.
Thank you.
Holy cow. We're starting off this second round so strong.
Strong.
Great story. Hey, Fetterman, do you think it'd be easier to tell a 1-minute story or a 2-minute story?
That's an incredibly deep question.
Yeah.
It depends on what's in the story, but I think 2 would be easier.
I think 2 would be easier too.
Yeah.
Johnny's total score 43. That's a great score, 43. Way to go, Johnny. Stay backstage, and we're gonna bring you back up at the end.
Christine, I love that no matter what anyone gets, you say it's a great score.
You know what,
So far,
Fetterman?
everyone you've said that to.
I'm a giver, and I think you know that.
Okay.
I give. All right, you guys. Coming up right now to tell a true 2-minute story is Alycia Marie. Alycia Marie, come on up, sister. All right, Alycia Marie, are you ready to do this thing?
I am ready. Yes, sir.
Let's tell her what to do.
Spin.
Wheel.
2,000 ants in a box of Kellogg's Ant Brand. 2,000 ants.
Drunk tank. Alycia landed on drunk tank. Who knows what's going to happen? Whenever you're ready, Alycia, we'll start the clock. Take your time.
All right. Yeah. When I was in college I think it was my junior year, it was my 21st birthday, and I was a theater major, and it started out pretty cool. I mean, I got like a couple like cakes and everything, and I really wanted to have like a Zima. Like, because it was 1992, and Zima, 94. Those were the coolest things. So after cheap beer, I was like, I'm living for that Zima. I didn't really have a place to go, but I like ended up at the theater place where they were rehearsing and they were smoking pot. So I got really high, and then I was sitting in a chair and everything, and I was like drinking the Zima, sorry, not Zuma, Zima. Drinking the Zima, and I got up halfway through, and I was like, oh my God, I'm really drunk. I'm really drunk. And then I sat back down and smoked a little bit more weed and smoked. And then I don't even remember how I got home, but I do remember I went to school in Indiana, Pennsylvania. And I do remember at the end going to see the Jimmy Stewart statue. And I remember talking to the Jimmy Stewart statue and being like, "Want some Zima?" And like, it was just me and Jimmy. And we were like just really cool, and like I was just chatting with him. And I remember for a small town, the police came by, and they were like, "Okay, kid, like you gotta go home. Like you gotta get back home. Like go back to your dorm." I was like, "What about Jimmy?" And I was like, high and drunk, but I didn't have my Zima anymore. But I was just like, the police didn't arrest me. They were cool, but And maybe they were Jimmy Stewart fans, but they didn't arrest me. They just told me to go home. And they like Zima. I told them I liked, so that's why I think I didn't get arrested. But yeah.
Wow. Oh, shit. No, that was exactly 2 minutes. The clock
that's perfect.
slipped.
Yeah.
That was 2 minutes exactly. Blaine Capatch.
I love how you ended on, but yeah. And that had everything. It had Zima. It had you talking to a Jimmy Stewart statue. It had a Jimmy Stewart statue. I would give it a 15 if I could, but you know the drill. 14 points. That was great. Thank you very much. I'm from Pennsylvania too. I could see it in my head.
Woo!
Kelly Carlin.
Alycia, all I can say is it's a wonderful life you have lived. Who thought that Zima and Jimmy Stewart were going to come into the same, and then I pictured Bedford Falls and this policeman, and it was snowing, and it was Christmas, and I was warm and fuzzy, and there was no puking. I'm surprised there was no puking up of Zima. That was the twist, I think, was that you didn't puke on the statue or in the cop car, and so I thought it was very, very decent story, and I gave you a 14.
A 14. That's a great score. Great
Wow.
score, Fetterman.
Get ready to be disappointed, because I thought that story was weird and rambling, and it sounded like you had been drinking Zima before you even started telling that story. A little sidebar. The Zima guy was a comedian named Roger Kabler. Just a little bit of trivia information. I was also up for that job. That's why I remember that guy's name. Anyway, so I gave you 3 for story, 3 for topic, because there was nothing about a tank anywhere in that story. Half the topic was ignored. And then I give you 5 for time, of course. So that's 11 points, I believe, if I did that right. Yeah.
All right, Wayne Fetterman.
Wayne, can I say I think there was a tank involved? She was tanked.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Exactly. Alicia's total score is 39. It's a good score. Thanks for playing, Alycia.
Thank you.
We're going to have you back in a little bit just to say hello. Or maybe you won. I don't know. All right, you guys. Coming out of the story-worthy can of truth right now.
Okay, what's going? Is everyone on Zima tonight? What's happening here?
I wish.
Yeah, I got a prescription.
Coming up right now, you guys. What's it say, Glenn?
Prescription Zima. That's
that says Paul Vato.
Paul Vato, come on up, brother.
Butter food.
I think this is the Grover theme song. That's why I like it.
Here.
There he is, Paul Vato. We're happy to see you, brother. All right, you guys. Let's tell him what to do.
Spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
And maybe clean your camera.
Is there? I'm blind in one eye because I had a detached retina. Is it blurry?
It's the Angela Lansbury lens. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Somebody else. Is this better?
Oh no.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better.
Oh, that's much better.
Fantastic.
I'm so
Jesus,
sorry.
Paul.
Thanks for not taking points off.
What did you do to your screen?
Yeah, it's
wiped it.
gross.
I know, but before that.
with American flag underwear.
wait. That the timing was horrible. It's my COVID mask. Should I be wearing it?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
No, it's okay.
Oh yeah, the camera looked. I
Vato.
thought it was my blind eye. I was like, the one looks fuzzy. Sorry.
You have a blind eye?
Yeah, my right eye.
Oh.
I had a detached retina, and it was so. If a public announcement here. If you ever see like little floaters, but not the little strings, but if you see like black dots, like specks, go to your doctor, of course, right away, because if it's a torn retina, they can fix it right in the office with lasers. If it's a detached retina, it's surgery. They put you under. They suck all the viscous gel out of your eye and replace it with a gas so that then recovery is face down for a week at least, because the gas floats to the back and helps repair the retina. So, yeah.
Blaine, was that his story?
I know. Did we spin the wheel? What topic?
Yeah, that was great. I'll give you 14 points so Christine doesn't kill me.
You know what? Perfect. I'll take it. No, that wasn't.
All right. You already spun the wheel. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. You landed on detached retinas.
I love my story. Perfect.
Pets. You landed on pets. You got it. Come on, brother.
Pets. So I used to pee on my aunt. No, I'm kidding. No. So pets. I grew up a dog person, and it was because my father would bring home strays. So this was like, in the 70s and 80s. So I'm sure that there were animal rescue places, but those were pretty much, I believe, used maybe exclusively by white people. So my father would go and get, animals that were strays. And I think people already knew, well, give it to Pablo, because Pablo will shelter these dogs. So we wound up with just a variety of dogs that probably didn't last very long. And they were always scruffy and mangy, like Duke. We called him Cookie Duke. And none of them were trained. And of course, my dad, and they're like, well, what was he? Was he born in a barn? Yeah, he kind of was. He was born on a farm in Mexico. So, all we went through like the 6th grade, but yet ended up working for the federal government, the Department of Energy, and, all that. So he wasn't about like, oh, mijo, my son, bring the dogs inside. They were strictly outside dogs. We grew up in Chicago, but he would build like very nice dog houses for them so they would stay nice and warm. But they were totally untrained. So when we started talking him into letting us take him to the vet, as you should take animals to the vet, as we got older, we're like, well, we have to take him. We couldn't control them. The poor vets, they're on a leash and they're dragging us. But the only way we could control Duke, and we called him Cookie Duke, because we'd offer him a cookie. So if you drove out of our driveway and the gate went up or opened, the dog would try to escape right away. So we always had cookies with us, and I'd eat some of them. That's why I got so fat. But it was always like, Cookie Duke, and no matter where he was, he would come running back. Now I'm a cat person, so that changed because my wife went shopping with a friend, Shelly Pack. They came home with a cat, also rescued, but they actually did go to a proper place where you buy a cat. You pay money for a cat that nobody else wants.
Okay, Kelly Carlin. Kelly.
Well, Paul, I was a little rambly. I didn't know if it was a story, really. I felt more like we were in, kind of a nice description. I feel like I got to know your dad a little bit, though. I really love, I think the story was more about your dad, really, than the pets, because here's this guy, and he's an immigrant, but he gets to work for the federal government, and he keeps the dogs out, but he builds dog houses for them. This is a man who's an interesting, complicated soul. And so I was kind of honing in on him a little bit. So, but you talked about the pets the whole time. So I'm giving you a 13, darling.
Okay.
13, Blaine Capatch.
One of the very first dreams that I ever remember having was about going into Snoopy's doghouse. And I remember it was sort of this TARDIS-like trans-dimensional space inside. And it was very 60s James Bond villain lair, shag carpet on the walls, pool table, aquarium, spiral staircases, multi-level stuff, sunken pit, fireplace. It was insane, this dream I had about Snoopy's doghouse. And when you said your dad built custom doghouses, it made me think about that dream, which made me ignore the rambling and whatever and the gross camera thing. But anyway, I would have given you a 14 just on the fact that you tagged back a pee joke to 20 minutes ago, which was nice. So 14.
14, Wayne Fetterman.
Well, I wish I could give you bonus points for having gas behind your eye, but I'm not going to.
Try not to think about that. Try not to think about it.
Try not to.
Not thinking about it. Not thinking about it at all.
Not thinking about there's gas behind his eye. What was the topic? What is the topic, Christine?
The topic was pets, Wayne.
And dads.
Okay.
Pets and dads.
So, it was pretty close. It was about you and dog. The most interesting part of the story that really caught my ear was that you were driving out and that you had a gate at the end of your driveway. I don't know how much money your dad was making for the federal government, but that was There was no gate at the end of my house. Maybe the Rockefellers did. What kind of house did you live in? All right, I'm giving you 12 points. No, yeah, 12 points. 12 points.
All right, 12 points. 12 points.
Okay.
That's not bad at all. I think that was everybody, right?
No, Melanie.
Melanie. No, I know.
No, every one of
I
us.
mean, you guys this
Oh,
round.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We
All right,
did.
let's look at the leaderboard. There it is. Paul's total score 39. That's not bad. It's going to be added to his first score. I don't do math, but somebody here does, and we'll find out in just a minute.
Not me.
But right now, ask your son, Blaine.
Huh?
Ask your son.
Oh no, man. He's no.
Drunk son.
It skips a generation. My ability to not do math.
Ask your son if he likes Zima.
Oh, believe me, he does.
All right, you guys, coming up to the stage right now to tell a true 2-minute story. This is going to be fantastic. Yes, in fact, it's the wonderful Melanie Chartoff. Hey, Melanie, come on up. Here comes the music. It's in my head. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Oh, Vato, get the hell out of this room.
You got me, Christine. I'm really hurt.
Melanie, you're going to be great. All right, you guys, let's tell Melanie what to do.
Spin that wheel.
That wheel. Ooh, Paul's with us still. This is exciting.
I know. Gas Eye is in the room. In the house. Oh, okay. He's gone.
School days. Melanie landed on school days. She was very close to hitting audience, but she in fact landed on school days. So Melanie, whenever you're ready, we'll set the clock, and you got 2 minutes to tell a story about your school days.
I was voted least popular when I was in junior high school, and fighting very hard to be sitting in the middle of the row at the hygiene classes rather than at the end of the row. I wanted to sit where the popular girls sat. It's the most important thing in the world to me, to be popular, to be chosen for teams, to not be resented for winning the spelling bees. And one day I got a note in my locker, in the little slits in my locker, and it said, "From your secret admirer." And I opened it up, and it said, "I've been watching you for the last 2 years. I'm an elder to you here in the school, and I think you're really nice, and I like your hair, and I want to be your boyfriend." Well, this was so thrilling that I opened the note, and I kept waving it around in class until somebody asked me, "Well, what is that?" And I said to this group of girls, "Well, I have a secret admirer." And they all took it from me, and they wanted to read it. And suddenly I was popular. Everybody wanted to know who this guy was. And so the next day I got another note, and he said, "I'm going to leave you a note at the oak tree on your way home to give you some more hints about myself." So suddenly I had this whole battalion of girls walking with me to the tree. And I was just delighted, that suddenly everybody liked me because somebody else liked me. And so then I found out that he was going to walk by my table at the lunchroom and eat an apple, bite into an apple as he put his tray away. And so everybody wanted to sit with me to see who it was. And so I sat near the trash so that I'd have a good eye's view of whoever bit into the apple and threw his trash away. And this tall guy who'd stayed back a few times, had a band sweater on, came across the room. Several people had apples, but he bit into his apple as he put his tray down. And suddenly pandemonium broke out in the cafeteria. The cafeteria ladies with the hair nuts, they whipped off their nets. Everybody was screaming. And suddenly I felt what it was like to be popular, and I felt what it was like to be cruel.
Oh.
Holy cow. Look at that story. Kelly Carlin, what do you got to say?
We've got a professional in the house here.
Yeah,
people.
it's a ringer,
It had everything. It had a 3-parter. It had tension. It built. It had empathy and sympathy for the character, and then a twist at the end. And oh my God, Melanie, so good to be in the space with you here. I'd give you a 16 if I could, but I can only give you 15.
Blaine Capatch.
That was beautiful. Christina's going to burn me with cigarettes, but I'm giving you a 15. That was really cool and very, very engaging. Thank you.
It really was. Fetterman.
All right. This is what I'm going to do the same thing. But that story was so interesting. And I felt like you really wanted to be popular like those other girls. But remember, those other girls, they get 8s on tests. Just remember that. Just remember that. So that was that was like Spalding Gray level storytelling.
Yeah.
At the 15. I don't know how to do it. Like, that's it. That's it.
It was a great story. And I got to tell you guys, personally, Melanie came on the show tonight and she said, so what story am I telling? And I said, I don't know what story you're telling. So she was surprised as well. So look at that. Perfect score. I'm not surprised. 45. Wow, 45. And by the way, did I tell you that the winner tonight is going to get $10 from me tomorrow on Venmo? Bring them all back in the room. Wherever you are, you guys, let's get a big round of applause for everybody who told stories tonight. Alycia Marie, Johnny Cardinale, Melanie Chartoff, and Ball Vato. All fantastic stories. Really good. Look at these nice comments coming in.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Really great.
It's a very tough thing to do. It's a very tough thing to do.
Very hard.
Off the top of your head. Very tough.
How do they do it? I don't know. Just a great evening.
Awkwardly.
Let's take a look at some of the scores. Let's look at the leaderboard, Jim. Who's Jim?
Who's Jim?
I don't know. Oh, Melanie's total score was 86. That's a high number.
Yeah.
What else do we got there?
The price are not going from bottom up.
Alicia's 80.
80.
That's also in the 80s. Hey, we're all winners.
Not bad.
79. Okay, well, now we're starting to drop off.
And Johnny had 83.
Going back up there a little bit.
Better than 8. Better than 8.
So I think it's Melanie Chartoff. Yes, that's right. 86 points for Melanie Chartoff. Fabulous. Way to go, Melanie. A big round of applause to everybody again who played the game tonight. Johnny Cardinale freezing his ass off in Cleveland. Alycia Marie. Paul Vato in Las Vegas. Melanie Chartoff. Baby. Just fantastic. Look at this comment right here. Raise a pint of Zima. No doubt about it. And for the fabulous Kelly Carlin on behalf of Blaine, Capatch, and the amazing Wayne Fetterman. Oh, hey, look, there's a virtual tip jar. Yay. My name is Christine Blackburn, you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.